How's it going, everybody? It's PJ here from the Shuffle Squad, and what we're going to do for you today on the channel is we're actually going to be bringing you a live broadcast. I'm going to be playing some of the decks that we're topping at Toronto Regionals, and we're going to be seeing how they're actually working. So we're going to play them right here on the ladder for you live. And I know that this format technically is a little over. Everybody is preparing for LAIC to know what the new decks from Paradox Rift are, but there's still some cups and still some challenges. We want to see how these decks are working. You came to the right spot. We're going to play them right here on the ladder. So the first thing that we're going to do is go through the winning list here from JW Krewall, which is the Miraidon deck. Now, this is very similar to what we had from the Shuffle Squad. Not only myself and Cyrus Davis did work on the list and played the very similar, I would say 58 cards, the same. We did have the Luxray in here. This is going a little bit thinner on the path to the peak, going down to 3, and then adding the Collapsed, probably to save you on the Lost Box matchup, and even maybe the Charizard matchup, tell you the truth. But to help you with the Charizard matchup, we did put the Mew EX in here, and Mew EX is really good in combination with the double Flaffy on board if you can use it in those specific matchups to get things going for you. But Judge Path is good. We know that. 2 Arvins in here is also really good to give you a little bit more consistency and bridging that consistency gap. We've got the Professor's Research at a highest count of 4. So we're going to use this on the ladder and see how we do. Maybe you can learn a few things about playing Miraidon. Maybe you'll play it at your next event and go from there. But we're just going to hop in now and see how it works. And we'll go through a couple other decks on the channel too, such as the Gardevoir deck that was top place Demi. Actually bopped me in round 3 with that same deck using the Mew EX against my Lugia deck. We're going to try Lugia with Urshifu, single strike Urshifu in a minute. And we will also attempt Lost Gudra. I think Lost Gudra is a really good deck in this format right now to top off the end of the 3-month time frame with it. But I think that maybe it has some legs to stand on in the next format too. Would I like to go first? Absolutely, I would. Sometimes with Miraidon, if you know what you're playing against, you don't want to go first. We didn't get any basic Pokemon, so we are going to mulligan. That's totally fine. Our opponent also mulligan, so we get to see what they're playing. Now we did get the Raichu, which has the fast charge attack. We can attack in the first turn. Grabber. So DTE, Mew, that's not what you want to see. But here we are. We're going to go ahead and do our thing. I'm just going to play these decks. Let me know what you think. Hello, Logan. I am streaming. I'm back. I'm doing the stream thing. Holy moly, 3 mulligans. That's a thing. We do have Nest Ball, so we're going to be able to get loaded up here too. So that's really, really good. We're going to get our Miraidon. Get our Miraidon loaded up. And a unit. We're going to try this out. Maybe we'll pull the Twitch channel back, you know. Maybe we'll do our thing on Twitch. I'm going to need a Mareep and a Flying Peak after this, too. I don't think that we really need the Zapdos in this matchup. But we're going to go ahead and at least thin the deck a little. So we're going to get a free retreating Pokemon. Always good here. We can go here. Let's whale the electric generator, and we do get 1, so that's great. And we can actually just put it right onto the Raikou V. That's good. We're going to throw out the path, and we will hit the fast charge. Awesome. So we're able to load up here. We can hit technically 180 damage on the first turn, and then adding the extra 60 to it. So we're doing 240 on turn 2. Which is pretty good. I mean, if we had a judge the next turn on our top deck, that would be even better. We got Path to the Peak, so they're going to have to just load up with a few Mew EXs, probably bumping this and maybe getting a Battle VIP or whatever they don't have in their 4-card hand here. Hopefully they draw into a little bit. But they do have 2 super vulnerable Mew Vs on the board. Now getting our Path out, chances are we're going to see a Battle VIP or a Judge. Let's see what they got. UV. Oh, they had vacuum in hand, so probably see in the battle VIP. That's totally fine. They're gonna load up. We still have boss, so we could just take a 2-prize game under our belt, starting out the day here on stream, and we'll just go from there. Right? That's what we want to do. See how everything's going. Hopefully everything's going well with everybody watching. How was everybody's weekend? I know my weekend was full of fun and excitement, and I got to hang out with the rest of the Shuffle Squad and do our thing. So that's always a great time. Got to hang out with a lot of friends that I don't normally see, and enjoy Pokemon for the entirety of the weekend and part of the week too. No Pokemon in our hand here, Mr. Grabber. So nothing there. They do get to see the Arven come down. So we could strand their Mew. We could just go, right into the switch cart. We can get a switch cart, and we can also get a Forest Seal Stone. We could put Path down too. That seems fine. Yes, I also am glad Mew did not make it into top 8. Not another Mew. However, I do think that Mew is still kind of unchecked for the remainder of the format here. So we'll have to see in testing for LAIC if Mew is really good. So let's see what they give us here now. So we can hit 220. This is fine. We can let a Raikou go down. And that's exactly what I think that we're going to do. I think that we will just get a Forest Seal Stone and a switch cart here, because we do play 2 switch cards, so that's totally fine. Put the Forest Seal on this. We'll go in. They don't know that we have energy in hand. This. I think actually now we'll flip the Forest Seal Stone, and I'm going to try to get a generator off on this. We'll get the only 2 generators left inside the deck, so we do have 1 prized. Hopefully this yields at least 2 energies. One's okay. We can live with 1. What I'm going to do is I'll put this Bravery Charm to force them to find not only 1 of their modifiers, but 2. And we'll go ahead and we'll switch into the Raikou here. Path still in play. I think we're okay researching one of the Miraidon EXs, or we're just going to smash this Genesect in the face for 220 damage. Upper Hand Cup, yeah, that was quite the time. Upper Hand Cup was over 100 people in a pretty small room, but it definitely was a great time. I sat there from 10 a.m. and played a challenge, and then we did a pre-release that was only 2 rounds because we had to hurry up for the cup that started at 7 p.m. and went all the way through 5 a.m. for Top Cut. So that was pretty cool. Even more happy that Miraidon won it. Yeah, everyone is saying Miraidon's a mid deck. Honestly, playing Miraidon, it was super fun. So that's what Pokemon's supposed to feel like. For anybody that has been playing this format for a while, that's the fun and enjoyment of Pokemon. Not these beatdown decks that kind of rule the format, but yeah, that's pretty good. So they got rid of the Charm, no big deal. So we've got the Flaffy and the Path. We can kind of just lock them out. So we're gonna go Path, Flaffy, Research, and then try to blow up this Mew VMAX, and then we'll really just have to swing into one more 2-prizer here to end out the game. Miraidon's very good. I do think that we'll get a couple other good decks in this format. I think Chen Pao still has some rounding out to do. I still don't think that Lugia is in an awful place, even in Paradox Rift format, so I think that will stick around. Lost Box is kind of one of those decks where if somebody cracks Lost Box and figures out a way to get around Iron Hand EX from, just taking the extra prize cards, then it still will be around. So, I mean, aside from that, I think that we're going to keep seeing a lot of these decks until rotation. That's my general consensus. Yes, we'll have a few new decks. I think Iron Valiant's very good. I think Roaring Moon's very good. I'm hopeful that Tina will come back, but I live and breathe by the Tina, apparently. I still think that having this Mew here is kind of funny because then we can copy Genesec's attack to end out the game. So I'm just going to pull that Mew onto the bench. We'll go ahead and try to raw draw here. The generator would be nice. Let's see, 240 is what we can do normally, plus the extra 60, so we can only hit 300. And that's where we're going to try to Thunder. Let's try it. Try to Thundershock. And see if we flip heads. I'm still going to put something on the Miraidon. Because we're a little short. No short jokes. But we're a little short to make this happen. So if we can at least... the paralyzation did not happen for us. So we're going to get knocked out here. And then hopefully we can draw into a Judge. Or maybe even an Iono. And then be okay here. So that's a little tough. I think that they're going to try to target down this Raichu if they're smart. Yeah, it was kind of fun to see. Charizard can make it. We did switch from Charizard. A lot of the Shuffle Squad members switched off of Charizard into Single Strike Lugia, seeming that it was pretty favorable. Assuming they're going to try to get rid of the Reap here. Put it underneath the deck. And yeah. So I think that there's a lot to come of this format. I think that there's a lot that we can look forward to, at least in the Pokemon Trading Card Game. So what's everybody else's thought? What's everybody testing right now? And what have you had success with? All right, there we go. There's our poor Pikachu. He's out of here. All right, so we have enough this time to KO. But we can KO. I think I'm going to set ourselves up for success. 200 is real tough, though. They need just one modifier here. They have flipped a stone. And we're not going to have an attacker left. But we can take 3 prize cards. That's exactly what we're going to do here. Yeah, the supporters are really, really good in this format. So I'm an enjoyer. Let's go ahead and Dynamic Spark and knock out this Mew. I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And you know what? Let's take them both. Well, we need to retreat, so we can't take them off the active. We need to find an energy card, and then we have the Ultra Ball in hand, so we can go ahead and put the other Flaffy down. So we just need one energy card. Hopefully, they bump the path. Oh, did I miss it? I did miss it. Wow, that's my fault. I wasn't paying attention. And there we go, 220. That's the way the cookie crumbles. We'll try that again, and we'll actually pay attention. My phone was going off, so I wasn't looking. All right. I still think that they would have had it regardless, so maybe we have to think of a better way to go about that matchup. I know that we weren't getting the cards that we really needed here, but let's just try to swing when we can swing. We'll play again on the ladder, see how it goes. Yeah, misplay. We definitely misplayed that one, but still they had it. You know, they needed a boss or they needed a modifier. So Mew's always got it like that, right? Unless you pile drive Mew, and that was what was nice. We assumed that Mew would still be good, and single strike Lugia is very good into Mew most of the time, and it's also good in the Lost Box. It's pretty decent into Guardy because you can throw a lot of single prize attackers. We assume that there's a lot of Miraidon, so we did put Double Stone Journer in our list. So that was a modification that we made for the Shuffle Squad. Yeah, lots of cool things happening. Lots of cool things that we're testing. I know I saw a couple of decks come through Japan. I know our buddy Ethan Heggie was posting some list on their Twitter. Okay, this seems pretty good for us, right? I would love to top deck a lightning Pokemon. That would be super cool here. And this is the donk. This is how you donk them. All right, we're gonna have to lose a generator so we can gain a win here. Yikes. All right, let's try to go with a double Raikou play. We'll retreat. Bring this guy active. We'll fleet-footed. Okay, so there's a path. That's fine. And we'll just go from there. Let's set our board up the right way, at least, if nothing else. It was, that hurt. Not getting any sort of ball search to get what we needed before we had to research. There's the Arven. Now, I'm hopeful that we can get boss out of here in a different manner than researching. And this is why I like the heavier judge count than the heavier research count. Not sure I'm in agreement with this. I'm going to try to get the VIP, and they've always got it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, researching the double boss is going to feel absolutely terrible here. I definitely don't want to do that. I'm hoping that they're going to bump my path. And I'm going to kind of let them do it, I think. Aside from that, we're really just living on a prayer here. But, okay, so... let's switch into our free retreater. That's step one, right? I don't want him to get another item. I could boss up the Charmander and hope that they just don't have energy candy path bump in hand, but they do have 6 cards, so it's looking okay for me. I think that that's what we're going to do. We're just going to play it safe. I'm going to retreat into... We do have more switch outs, so I'm going to retreat into the Raikou again. And then hopefully we can research just the one boss away and then bop this Charmander so they can't get into anything else. And that way, at least Mew is not in the act of trying to get more item cards. So I think that that's the correct line of play. They did already V-Star, and they are going to have to retreat. Okay, so that's fine. I feel a lot better now knowing that they had to retreat, but they are going to candy and get their Charizard. They do have lone Charizard. We still have 2 more paths in the deck. And I think that that's absolutely fine. They're just going to go with a Charmeleon. Ugh. And that's how grindy these matches are. All right, so they're bossing something up. I'm assuming it's the Miraidon. That's what I'm going to assume. Oh, okay, the sheep. That sheep out. Still fine. All right, we're going to have to get rid of a sheep, but here we go. All right, so let's try the generator first. Whiffing a generator. We'd love to see it. We'll just load up the old-fashioned way. With a Dynamotor. Yikes. Alright, here we go. Let's just play fast, right? We'll load that up here, and yeah, look at all those yellow cards in our discard pile. That's sometimes it just be like that, right? So we do have a second path and retreat on board and Dynamotor on board. So at least, if nothing else, if our game is not looking great here, we do have a way of getting out of it. So they can escape rope, attach energy, hit us for 180 into something. We definitely don't want to promote Mew because that would be a misplay. And then just go from there. So let's see. There's the path bump. They can get energy. They probably have Charizard in hand. That way they can load up energy up front on Mew and energy onto Charizard. Totally fine. I am cool with that. We're just gonna beat stick the heck out of this Charizard and get it out of here. Now, at some point in the game, I need them to go on uneven prizes. And there we go. There's the Mew. It's okay because we do have Raikou loaded up. We've got a Flaffy. And we have a path. Everything's fine. So we get to draw an extra card now. That's totally cool with me. Oh, look at that. Would you look at that? Just look at it. I am going to go ahead and just, well, I guess we're going to get Raichu. Well, we don't want Raichu. We're not going to put Raichu in the back. It's bad. That's really bad. So we're going to have to feed them a Zapdos at some point. It's not what I want to do, but it is what we're going to have to do. Because Flying Pikachu's in the prize cards. Learn from my mistake. Okay, sure. Whiffing second generator. We're going to have to keep going back and forth on these Raikou. And Lightning Rondo for 190 and hope for the best. Yeah, our discard pile is not looking cool. We got 2 boss in here, so there's only 1 boss left. We've got 2 research. We whiffed both of the latter half generators. So we only have 1 generator left in deck. Our Mareep and our Mew are gone. But we are going to knock out this Charizard here this turn. That feels fine. and they have no way of getting it back. So we're going to put this up here. Yep. Yeah, I see that. There's another free prize knockout, and we're going to be able to just load this thing up here until we can start to chain the Miraidon attacks. But right now, here we go. We're going to knock out this 2-prizer with Path and Play. They've got 2 cards in hand. We're looking good. Now, as you can see, a little bit slower of the gameplay, but we're able to get where we need to be and accomplish our goals, right? That's the important part. The hard part is now that we don't have boss's orders, so we can boss up this Pidgey EX or Pidgeot EX when it evolves. They're just building pieces now with the Mew. And I think this is fine. This is fine for me. We're going to Dynamotor because we can. And put that there. Even if they knock out the Raikou, that I'm fine with that, because then I can put a free retreater here. So we're just going to rope something else up. Feed me the Pidgey. That's cool. 340 damage to this tiny bird. Okay, so now Pidgey EX is out of the picture. There's no Charmander on the board. This is fine. This is absolutely fine. Path is putting in some work right now. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to Ultra Ball for here. Probably just another Charmander to help get set up, and that's exactly what they're doing. That's fine with me. Oh, wow. Let's Dynamotor first and just see if they concede, because I know I would. Totally crippling their board. And here we go. Lightning Rondo. They put Mew in the active spot. They don't get a Charmander next turn. We basically just win, and there we go. There's a concession from our opponent. And we'll play one more game of Miraidon, and we'll probably switch gears here and probably try out a different deck. We'll try the Lugia Single Strike with the Urshifu package and see how we're doing. We'll collect our little daily goals here. Now, I don't play a whole lot on PTCG Live because I absolutely despise it, but I do like to go through and collect what I need to collect. So that way, when new decks come out, at least I have a way of doing it. Saying 2 days before Toronto that Miraidon no way could win a tournament. Yeah, here we are. Yeah, that's kind of the gist of things that nobody expects a deck, but you get a really good pilot behind a okay deck, and sometimes that's all you need. Somebody that knows the matchups in and out, maybe has been playing for a while and knows what's going to happen, knows the metagame really well. I know that there were a lot of fantastic players there at Toronto, but JW's been playing for a real long time. The 3rd regional win, so JW knew what he was doing. Cool. So we do have Mew. We can attach to maybe the Zapdos, depending on what we're playing up against. Looks like another Charizard deck. How about that? Azul playing Charizard. First things first, let's get this Mew out of the active. I don't like that at all. We're going to go here, here, and we're not going to retreat. We're just going to end the turn. Call for Family is an attack that you can use, I suppose, but that does end your turn. If we're maybe able to get something else on board and hopefully a research or a judge comes our way, then we'll be able to go ahead and just do our thing. All right, so Battle VIP Pass. Let's see how we can get outside of this puzzle. So prize map here is only one Raichu. Honestly, that's what I played for Sacramento. Only one Raichu is all you need, especially since you play a Super Rod. You can always put it back in. One Raichu is good in the opening hand if you're going first because you can fast charge attack and put some pressure on. But you really don't want a 200 hit point Pokemon just chilling out in the active, just like we really don't want the 180 hit point Mew EX being all squishy in the front. All right, let's try doing this and this. And yeah, let's go from there. Yeah, Raichu's prize, but Raichu is a game-ending Pokemon. That's to end the game. If you can't end it with Mew EX, it ends the game for you at the end with all of the energies. It also isn't a free retreating Pokemon, and that's why there are 2 free retreating Pokemon. Now, I've also opted to take Mew out of the list and put in the Zeraora, which is a single prize Pokemon that does have free retreat. As you can see right now, we're about to get this thing knocked out and most likely lose the game because we have no draw support because we're just not drawing. I had assumed that we would... Okay, still not great, right? This is not what we want to see. We're just going to get knocked out. But they're putting themselves on uneven prizes. If we can sneak out a research here, maybe we'll be okay. Maybe not. Let's see. Okay. I can go like this. I can thin out the deck. We're going to get this and this. Actually, we don't need this. We need the Raikou. Just like a haiku, we got the Raikou. We're going to get the sheep. And we can get... We can get second sheep here. 2 sheep is good, especially with Mew. Then let's try to restart and see. Oh, wow. Now, if we hit 2 electric energy or 2 lightning energies off this, we're really just gods. And we whiffed the energy. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to just retreat into the Miraidon because, again, we don't want to let them take 2 prize cards. We could have retreated into the Raikou, but for some funny reason, if they have an Arven in hand and the Choice Belt, which seems to be the play here, they would be able to knock out the Raikou V. So having this up here with a free retreat, Flaffy in hand, seems like we could be okay if we are able to restart next turn and then just hit it with the Miraidon that is undamaged after that. That should be our proper sequencing. Judge Path would also be really nice this time of year. So maybe if we get Judge Path, we can hit with Raikou also. And a Radiant Serena, that's a thing. That is definitely a thing that you can see. Helps out with the Lost Box matchup a lot. I've seen people even put Mawile back in their deck. But yeah, we're gaming. All right, so they got the free retreat off the Mew now with the energy attached. They're going to have to try to get Super Rod later in the game. They're not drawn too hot here, so I really don't want to give them that many cards. This is also really good. Cool. Let's attach all of our cards and restart for 3. Seeing cards. Oh, beautiful. I'm just going to go flip the stone and get a research. Because they've got a dead hand, right? The Squawk hasn't come up in any of the games I've played with this list for some reason. And I think it's also due to the fact that they went with the Nest Balls. Right. So we'll have to give him this squishy guy. Put the charm over here. And then we'll end end the turn. We need to build up a better board before we start attacking into things. And now that we have Path in play, Radiant Serena doesn't come into play. They can't Candy for a Pidgeot. The Entei's kind of annoying. I'm assuming they're going in for Vacuum Can for Sealstone or Candy for Sealstone. Okay, Belt, super annoying. But again, on uneven prize cards. Burning Darkness. Cool. Now, the Zapdos does come into play here, so we will have to try to rod that back. We do need to hit 230. I really think that Miraidon going second is really optimal in a lot of situations depending on the matchup because you have the potential to dunk, just like Mew VMAX used to be. I'm gonna hold this boss here for a minute. So that's the problem, is that you can go first to try to set up your board, but if you know that you're playing something like a Lugia, going second is pretty good. If you hope that your opponent doesn't have Battle VIP Raw in hand or Mew EX Start in Charizard, also going first is pretty, or going second rather, is pretty good. Putting Path down, judging them into nothing, and just ruining their board state for the rest of the game is really, really good. I think that if we're doing anything extra, okay, there we go. There's the Forest Sealstone. We definitely want to make sure that we have a good game state, we have a good board set up. It's very important for the rest of your game to do that. So going first is really good. So something that we have to pay attention to, what you're playing against and how it feels. So that's where I'd want to go with my mind, is just picking the matchups that you want to go in second. Here we go. So we did take the damage there. We're able to hit into this for a knockout. But they do have the Charizard all ready to go. I don't like that one bit. If they take this knockout here, which they will, we're gonna have to go ahead. Let's throw the Super Rod here first. We need you and maybe you. And then if they unlock the path, maybe we missed. Yeah, we did. Whoops. We could just lock them. Let's lock this thing out. Get it out of here. We have energy in hand to get this. They did use their V-Star. Got to pay attention. I'm also working while we're doing the live stream, so bear with me here. Trying to focus on more than one thing. Okay, so going for the Pidgeot, probably. Even though they're under path lock, but they're going for the Pidgeot. Oh, okay. Lumineon. That's good under path, right? Cool. There's a generator. Let's try to hit one. We do hit the one. Great. Attach active. Dynamotor to Mew. Got lots of energies on board for a Raichu play. And again, this is where you probably will use the Raichu towards the end of the game. Now, having 2 Charizards set up on the board is not what I want to happen here. I have taken no prizes, and I have an undamaged Miraidon in the active. So really what I want to do is knock out a Charizard, and then knock out this other Charizard. No tools left, but we can switch cart. Oh, hey, wait. PTCG Live messed me up. Okay, let's go in. Let's just retreat here. And I think that we're going to have to pass. Because what we really need is a boss. We can't get the boss yet. There's the energy card. Okay. There's a Raichu. Fine. Load up that energy on the Raichu. And wait for a boss again. Hopefully, they don't have it. Let's end our turn. This feels terrible. Alright, let's see what else we got here. This is not the map that we want. I want to one-shot this thing, and then I want to be able to knock this other Charizard out. The gold Charizard's got to go down. Hey, Santiago. Yes, it's definitely going to be great to see you too. I think I'm going to have to give him the sheep. I know. I'm very excited about LAIC. I've never been to Brazil, so I'm super excited about going. Tons of new decks. Very exciting. Probably be stressed out the entire time, but it's going to be great. Okay, so here's our problem. That we've got a lot of squishy Pokemon. Yeah, we pretty much just lose this game because if we knock out this thing, they're still going to be able to swing into any one of our Pokemon and take the 2 prizes. So we're just going to concede this one. There's no winning in this game. All right, so Miraidon doesn't feel great on PTCG Live. We can obviously cheese out some games, but along the road we had a couple of misplays where we weren't looking at the game online and we put energy in the wrong spot. But other than that, I think that we did fine. So the next deck that I want to play is Goodra. Now, I haven't played Goodra in a very, very long time, but I think that playing Goodra and also Lugia is going to be good. So let's just try the single strike Lugia. I'm just going to copy it to my clipboard and we'll paste it in the decks and we'll play a few games there. Maybe tomorrow or sometime later this week we'll go ahead and play Goodra a little bit. I do have a cup coming up this weekend, so I kind of want to play that. So it looks like everything imported here. Looking good. We got the urns. Cool. So we're just going to have it named new deck and set it as active. We also have the late night this weekend, or this week. So hopefully we'll get some of the new cards. I know that tomorrow PTCG Live is going to have that update where we're going to get all of the new Paradox Rift cards. So hopefully after the update on Wednesday, fingers crossed, fingers and toes crossed, we will be able to have late night have its very first Paradox Rift format tournament, which will lead us into LAIC. How's it going? Welcome to the stream here. We're just playing some of the top rated decks from Toronto Regional. Some of the highest placing top 8 decks that were at that tournament. There were so many people there. It was so great. What a great time. If you ever get a chance to go to a regional, and if you haven't done it so far, definitely do that. Yeah, so we just stopped playing Miraidon, and now we're playing Single Strike Lugia with the Urshifu package. Now, this deck is a little bit different than ours, obviously not relying on the Stone Journer for the fighting attackers into Miraidon, but having the Single Strike that can just pummel into Charizard. I think that's definitely a good way to do that. I did see somebody mention to me that obviously Mew EX would be good in this deck if it was colorless alongside a Thornton into Charizard, because you can just Thornton things into Charizard and blow it up. And then the same goes for a Duraludon deck. If you were able to Thornton a Duraludon into play, or if a Duraludon's playing against you, apologize because my words aren't working correctly. There's lack of sleep. But if you're playing against a Duraludon as the Lugia player and you are playing colorless Lugia, obviously you can shred. You can copy the attack to shred into the Duraludon, and when they knock out your Mew EX, you can then Thornton into the Mew EX again and shred for a knockout, and that would get rid of the Duraludon V in your way. All right, so this is the problem, and this is where going second would have been much better for the Miraidon player. We can gift energy here. We have Burnett. So I think that the gift energy is going to be fine. Even placing it on this Lugia here and then just doing a Burnett, hoping for the best. Putting a T-Tar down seems really good too, because we can pretty much blow up anything that we want with the T-Tar, making sure that our Lugia is not in harm's way. They're going to get a full board state, so they're going to KO this thing regardless of whether or not we put a V-Guard energy on here. So we will load up the back Lugia and hope that they just don't have an escape rope. Even if they do, I still think that we're fine going down by 1 energy card. There's the path. Okay, cool. We got path locked. Nice. We don't need all these Lugias. We're still going to load up this guy. We're going to go in here, and we will hit the Burnett. And yes, I would love to get rid of both of these Archeops, but let's check all of the Pokemon and trainer cards. We've got 3 research, 2 bosses, 2 Ionos, and only 2 path outs naturally. Okay, cool. Now we could have read the wind with this Lugia, but I'm also trying to conserve energy cards here. The Tandem unit is out of the question here. Here's the generator. Generator hits. You love to see that. Yeah, putting this energy up front may have been the play instead of putting it on the back one. But again, assuming they have some sort of rope shenanigans here. They don't have Zapdos in play, so they, 1, won't be able to attack into our Tyranitar. And then 2, they're not going to be able to get us with anything else. So hopefully they just don't have the raw switch cart into their deck, but we'll see. Cool. All right, so there's the Zapdos. Let's see the switch cart. Do they have the switch cart? There's a research. Okay. I'd like to see that. So their Miraidon is stranded here. Dynamotor. Okay, so they're gonna be able to hit the not 220. We don't have a full bench. Oh no. Not the stone. If they see it, they see it. They do see it. Okay. Okay. That is a thing for sure. Yep. All right, we're just going to concede this game. There's not a whole lot of winning here, so we're going to try the Lugia deck again. Yeah, Read the Wind was maybe a way out of it, but I'm skeptical. I am skeptical. We're going to try it one more time. And if not, we'll flip over to Gudra for just a little bit. So what's everybody's top pick for Paradox Rift here? What do you want to see in Paradox Rift? All right, let's see what's going on. Cool. Miraidon Iron Hands, yeah. Might have a video about Miraidon Iron Hands going up maybe later today. Mew VMAX, yeah. Mew VMAX is still a good deck for Paradox Rift. I feel it. Okay. So Chen Pao action. So we're going first. It's a pretty decent matchup. Unfortunate that we're only getting one. Maybe we can Iono ourselves into greatness. Chen Pao Iron Hand seems really good. Can't say to play Mew until it's no more. Yeah. Still think Mew's a great deck. And this is the classic opening hand of Chen Pao. When it's cracked. This is what we're going to experience. Town Store, that's new. That is not a thing you see every day. Okay. I appreciate that. Holy moly. All right, so I have not seen a Chen Pao with a Bravery Charm on it in some time. So Irida's getting some stuff set. Okay, so it's Palkia. Palkia engine. Get things going for you. Seems like it's pretty good, right? They're not playing against Miraidon. Drawing a whole lot of cards here. I don't like that. Could try to double turbo, cheese our way into what we need. Okay. Sure. Just go in Nest Ball for something. Such as Tyranitar. We'll be able to evolve. Even Collapse Stadium here. Probably getting rid of the Friggy. Yep. And let's Iona. Tails, good. Bloomy. Get the fish. And I think that we are just going to go ahead. Yeah, Palkia does give a lot more options. It's just hard because, you know, Miraidon is a thing, and so is Path to the Peak a lot of the time too. But I mean, Path obviously is hard for Chen Pao to deal with on the whole grand scheme of things here too. But I definitely see the consistency. You just don't want to put extra 2 prize Pokemon that is an evolution into your deck to kind of clog up the deck. You want to make the deck run smoother, to make the better plays, to have the better opening hands, the better board setups. And I think that that's why a lot of people got away from the Palkia engine. I honestly thought Palkia was way better than Arceus in the list. And that's what I was playing. So we're going to see a Baxcalibur come into play right now. And hopefully they don't have enough to KO this Lugia. That would be very, very bad. The candy. We don't have a single prizer to throw at the Chenpao. And there's a superior energy retrieval. They do have 3 in there and 2 in hand. So they have 5, and that's enough. Sending up the T-Tar would have been better here. We don't want to get it. The Lugia knocked out. And now we're behind. Okay. We're just gonna we're not gonna play the rest of this game. We're gonna try one more time. Cool. We got there. Alright, we'll do one more game here. And then we'll wrap it up. Let's see if we can win with Lugia. And go from there. Alright, we'll load up this game. See what we got going on. Cool. We'll go with Tails because the algorithm tells us that it should be Tails. It is Tails. Look at us. Yes, I would love to go first as the Lugia player. I'm not a Lugia believer either. Yeah, the last 2 games were pretty bad. All right, we've got 1 Lugia in the active. Nothing really in our hands. And we're going first, so now we can't even research, and it's we're playing against Mew. So we're gonna hold on tight to our pants. We're gonna have to put a second Lugia down. We don't know which version we're playing. And Capturing Aroma. Capturing Aroma gets a second Archeops. This is great, as long as we don't get judged, right? We don't want to get judged. We're gonna go ahead and pass the turn to our opponent. We do have a path out in case it is DTE Mew. We don't want path to come down and make our day go really bad here. So chances are if it's Fusion Mew, we're getting knocked out. If not, they got to go through 2. Cool. Judge. Judge is fine. Iono is not so great, but Judge is okay. Cool. A single strike energy going in the discard pile isn't terrible either. Yeah, Archeops going bye-bye. Nothing. The grabber. The grabber didn't get me. Capturing Aroma could be fine. If we Capturing Aroma, flip Tails, and then just so happen to get like Ultra Ball, we're fine. Everything's fine. Ooh, the Luxray. They did plant the energy a little too early. If they waited for that, I guess we would have been in an even worse spot. We're going to hope for the top deck here. See what we get off of the top deck. Anything? Maybe? Alright, Lugia is gone. Fine. Path? There's the path. So no Lumineon for us. But an Iono. 6 new cards. Hey. We're reading. Let's read the wind. Now we do have path out, and they need a modifier. Now they can get rid of the path out, which kind of sucks. But if we Ultra Balled for Lumineon, we couldn't use the supporter, and Luxray has a chance of getting rid of that. So chances are what they're going to do here is they're going to get rid of the Collapse Stadium. Put us in a pretty bad spot. Here's the Vacuum. Cool. There's a Judge. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure why they didn't evolve. And goes, oh, that's right. I own it them. Lugia. Am I right? There we go. Alright, they still need another modifier. Chances are they're getting it here. There we go. Look at it. Would you look at it? Alright, here we go. Let's see what's going on. Escape Rope. Alright. There's the Mew. Don't need a modifier for that one. Jeez. Jeez. Welcome to Mew. I had such a fun time playing in Toronto against Mew. We were having a blast. My opponent and I were just flipping coins left and right. I was playing Lugia. They were playing Mew. They were playing the Fusion Mew, which is pretty disgusting most of the time. But, you know, I was able to win our best of 3. Won game 1 and game 3. I would have won game 2, but I had to research my 8-card deck, and the 10th card, I'm sorry, the 8 card at the bottom of the deck was the energy I needed to win, which was, it was kind of funny, but all right. Tails? Cool. I suppose. We're not bumping this path, so what's going to have to happen is we're just going to go like this. And this. Grab this in the active. Put this thing here and read some more wind. Jeez. Okay, so we can put Lugia down. And hope. There we go. There's the DTE, of course. And the boss. Now, if we draw into a supporter, or we get judged, or anything, then maybe we get this path out of here. And then we could just Lugia and we'll fire something off. Okay, they're going to get rid of our urns. See you later, urn. We're getting the urn out of there. Totally fine. Wow. Alright, we're going to do it the unconventional way. And we'll just start milling. Cool. No vacuum for you. They're going to be able to bop this thing with a Mew. Just retreat manually. The hard part is, most lists, especially with Grabber, don't play Silene. If they do retreat, they are going to be in for some kind of a bad time. The Judge, nothing crazy. 2 research? No, nothing. There's a Choice Belt. Cool. Cram. Cool. I love it. So many coin flips here. We're playing some more single strike Lugia after we already did this to ourselves. Okay, so they got the Luxray back down there. I'm gonna roll the dice here. And we're gonna see capturing aroma if it can get us a Eviltal. And we'll put 3 single strike energies on the Eviltal. Okay. Try this first. I want to see what we get. I want to thin the deck. So we do get heads. That's fine. We're going to get another Archeops. We'll get rid of the Archeops. And the Lugia. Let's triple check our energy cards before we do this. We do have only 2 in deck, so a good thing that we did check, right? We're going to have to put gift energy up front. And rip the research. Give ourselves a high five. Holy moly. Hey, Collapse Stadium, look at that. Our opponent gets to pick what they want to get rid of. Cool. We'll go ahead and Summoning Star both of our Archeops onto the board. Not 3, but only 2. I'm going to put a double turbo on the active. Because it doesn't necessarily matter here, right? Then we'll go ahead and do the second one. And just so they don't judge Pathos or something silly. Actually, let's put a V-Guard energy. I feel like the V-Guard's fine. Let's triple check our board. We do have gift energy in hand. I'm going to go ahead and do that to this Tyranitar here. And just swing into this Mew. No, I don't want to discard the stadium. I think the stadium is fine where it is. We do have a V-Guard on it here, which essentially makes us... Alright, there's the Luminion back into the deck. It makes us 310 HP. There's the other Luminion. They know that we have the single strike energy in hand and the Archeops on the board, so we can knock out this Mew VMAX when it comes out. We can also retreat manually with the double turbo energy and just knock that out. So we're looking pretty good against Mew, even though our board setup really sucked and they only have 2 prize cards left. So that's exactly what they're going to try to do, is hit into this thing and then try to boss something else and knock it out. Even though we do have the Tyranitar here, they flipped their Forest Seal Stone. Now we're going to use a Lost City to open up the board a little bit. They have 1 boss already in their discard pile. So they're going to struggle to find their last boss. If we can pull off an Iono play, I think that that's totally fine. They've used all their Fusion Strike systems. Let's see if they get it. Would be super funny if we can maybe get this thing off the board. Picking an action to use. Let's see. What are they going to use? There we go. Nice. Super fun. Let's research here. See if we can put some single prizers and a collapse. That's exactly what we're doing. Get this thing off the board. Bye, Lugia. See you later. Hilarious. Hilarious, I say. How many single strike energies do we need? We need to use this so we can draw one more, right? We're going to do 560. Hopefully that's not one of them, right? It's not. All right. And we have 2 bosses orders. So even if they Luxray us, we've got another boss for game. And a 3rd boss. Okay. Okay. So now they need at least... Oh, modifier. I don't like that. 190, 210. They need a 2nd modifier. Do they have it? Box of Disaster. It's not looking like they do. Do they have it in deck? 1 modifier. 220. Let's go. We win. And that's the concession. We got it. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me here on this stream on the Shuffle Squad. I'm going to be sure to do a little bit more, and we might even open up the Twitch channel a little bit to do some of these streaming of the top decks from the prior tournament. Hope that you enjoyed it here. If you did, leave a comment on the main video, like, hit the subscribe button, and share. But that was me from the Shuffle Squad, and keep on shuffling. We'll catch you next time.